Yeah, so welcome everybody to our weekly Zoom call. It will just be Gail and myself today. And housekeeping rules are the same. We will keep this to 30 minutes. Everybody is muted. Please use the chat box for questions, and we will post the recording. I believe Kristen usually gets it posted within a day or two for people who are not able to join.
Okay.
Oh, Gail, you're muted right now.
Okay. All right. As far as resident and tenant activities, we have the facility decorated for Halloween, and with the beautiful weather that we've been having, we've had lots of opportunities to get outdoors and enjoy the fall weather. We took a bus ride to see the crops and the fall leaves, and on yesterday we had witch races. And tomorrow we have music by Craig Blackstead. And on Friday, we're going to have old time music by Cletus Goblish from New Ulm. So that's something to look forward to. In the pictures, you can see that there's a group of guys and a group of ladies down below that are playing Lucky Dog, and residents enjoying the outdoors and music in the courtyard. And then yesterday after bingo, some of them stopped by the pirate ship and had their pictures taken. And a couple of our ladies out enjoying the Whisper Glide swing out in the courtyard. And oops, go ahead. I was just gonna say, coming up, we got plans for a Halloween party. So we're kind of working on things like that, and some things for toward Thanksgiving, and a possible bazaar and a really good meal in November. So.
Okay, so some statistics. Lac-qui-Parle County, right now we have 30 active COVID cases in our county, which it appears that's up just one from a week ago. Our total confirmed cases, 942, and that's up 21 from last week. So yeah, the trend is still that we are seeing more positives in Lac-qui-Parle County. We know that just in our facility, positives, not people who are in our facility, but who come and get tested, we are seeing a lot of high school aged kids. So there seems to be some outbreak going on within the younger population right now. Just a review of our long-term care testing guidance. So several weeks ago, CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, moved away from the county positivity rate that we were using to determine how often we test our staff. And now they use a county rate of transmission. And we are currently in the high category, which requires us to test our unvaccinated employees 2 times a week. And I don't know if the next slides go on to testing, but we test our unvaccinated people usually on Monday or Tuesday, and then again on Thursday or Friday. So if they're not working, they have to come in and get tested. CMS does have revised testing guidance as well. So for staff, there's certain testing guidance, and then for residents as well. Some big changes, which we've talked about this at previous calls. If we identify a COVID positive employee or resident, there's 2 different ways we can conduct COVID testing. So if we have that employee or resident who's positive, we can do what's called contact tracing testing. So we identify the residents or staff members that positive person has come into close contact with, meaning who did that positive person spend 15 minutes or more in a 24-hour period with. Those are the people who are considered close contacts. That group of people would then be subjected to testing. If we are not able to determine who that positive resident or employee may have had contact with, then we do testing of all staff, vaccinated and unvaccinated, on a facility-wide, like we used to do for outbreak testing. Let's see, I think we've only had to do 1 or 2 episodes of contact tracing testing, and we've been able to identify the residents and staff that have had the close contact. So we haven't had to test on a large scale where we do all of the residents and employees. So that has been nice. Right now, we have 0 care center residents or staff who are positive for COVID, and same at assisted living, 0 tenants or assisted living staff. 98% of our care center residents and 100% of our assisted living tenants are vaccinated. And there have been a handful of residents who have received the booster. So that third immunization they get. So Pfizer is the only manufacturer who has the approved booster. The majority of our residents received the Moderna vaccination when we had our COVID vaccination clinics back in January and February. But there are a handful of residents who have moved in since then and received the Pfizer vaccine. So some of them have received that booster shot. Same with assisted living. I think we have a couple people who were able to receive the Pfizer booster at assisted living. Otherwise, the rest of the tenants at assisted living received the Moderna. 74% of our long-term care staff is vaccinated, and 88% of the assisted living is vaccinated for employees. Moderna and Johnson & Johnson both plan to have a booster. They just have not received the approval yet. So once that approval gets in place by the FDA, then we will move forward with getting the booster vaccine to other residents and employees. A handful of our employees who have received the Pfizer vaccine are getting the boosters as well. The JMHS mandatory vaccine policies, so these would be the COVID-19 vaccine and the influenza vaccine. Our board of directors, we went to the board meeting on Monday, October 4th, and the board did approve implementing the mandatory influenza and COVID-19 vaccine policies. Last week, and I believe yesterday, emails and communication has been sent out to all JMHS employees, notifying them of the vaccine mandates and the timeline of when those will occur. So within the next couple weeks, our employees, if they have a medical or a religious exemption, they have to submit those, and those are reviewed by 2 different committees involving our physicians, HR, and some of our senior executives. Those exemptions that are approved, those people will be able to be exempt from those vaccines. Those who are not approved either have the choice to take the vaccine, or there is a specific date that they're able to work up to before it becomes a voluntary resignation. The official guidance from this, gotta think, from CMS, so from the federal government, has not come out yet regarding their dates of implementation. Johnson Memorial did choose to move forward with dates of our own. We expect to receive the guidance from the federal government really at any time. They're saying mid-October. If the federal guidance is more strict, then we will adjust our policies. If it is not as strict, our COVID response team will review the differences and determine if changes need to be made to our internal policies. Okay. That was pretty short. So our Zoom calls, we are still doing. We apologize for last week. We were having technical difficulties around here. Newsletters get mailed out. You can always refer to our website. I know our Healthline monthly newsletter just got emailed out. And then social media is a great place to find updates. So at this time, we will open it up for any questions that you may have about the vaccine mandates, the vaccine boosters, any questions that you guys may have. Oh, okay. Kristen said, we are switching back to the monthly Zoom calls. Right now, there are not as frequent of updates right now from the Department of Health. So we are going to switch back to monthly, unless, of course, if we get updated guidance from the federal government about that vaccine mandate, we will share that with you. If we have any outbreaks that occur, we would most likely call a meeting sooner than monthly. Okay, there is a question. We are from a distance away. Do we have to let you know when we want to visit our loved one? You don't have to. We've had spontaneous visits from family members. Of course, things can change very, very quickly, and we try to get communication out to families as quick as possible regarding if we do have a positive where we have to limit visitation. But I would really encourage you to give a call and just say, hey, we're thinking about coming out tomorrow, later today, so we can make sure that your loved one doesn't have an appointment and that we are not in an outbreak status. I just had something come to mind that I was going to mention, and as fast as it came to me, it went away. Will we be handing out candy to the kids? Gail, I'll let you field that question.
No, we won't be able to do that this year. We don't have any children under the age of 12 that can come into the facility even to visit. And so unfortunately, we're going to have another year where we can't have trick-or-treaters in-house.
I know the residents look forward to that.
I know, it's disappointing.
It is.
But we'll have a Halloween party, so we'll try to make things fun, but I know it's not the same as having all the little ghosts and goblins coming in.
Yeah.
But if not, Gail, I can get some managers together and we can go around trick or treating. I like candy.
We could probably, yeah, we could probably do something like that. We thought about, we just kind of started talking about it yesterday, so we'll maybe try to do some kind of have a dress up costume thing that day of our party and have the residents vote for the best costume or something.
I have my costume ready.
All right.
Same as last year. There was another question. How is the staffing in general at the care center? I would have to say that our staffing is better than facilities around us. Right now, from different calls that some of our managers are on, statewide calls, hospitals are reporting how difficult it is to find long-term care beds right now. People discharging from hospitals, looking to go into long-term care, whether it's for short-term or long-term stays, they simply cannot find beds. Facilities are either saying, the long-term care facilities are saying they don't have the staffing to take additional residents, or they have COVID issues going on. And just to note, a nursing home can't deny an admission just solely based on a resident's COVID status. We can take admissions of residents who are COVID positive. That can't be our reason for denying someone. So I've told many of the discharge planners that have contacted us, facilities can't use that as an excuse, that solely as an excuse. We have taken a resident who was COVID positive from a hospital, had all the precautions put into place, and things went very smoothly with that individual. Our neighbors around us, as of a couple weeks ago, I was getting tons of referrals. I bet in 1 week I had 10 referrals from Monty, Granite Falls, Marshall, some from the cities, and they were saying within a 30-mile radius of us, none of the nursing homes were taking admissions, either because of staffing or COVID. It's tough right now. I feel horrible for discharge planners. I feel horrible for families who are not really sure what to do. Yeah, Diane, thank you for bringing this up. Diane said that she read that the Minneota Care Center will be closing in December due to staffing. I don't know if staffing is the sole reason, but yes, the Minneota Manor in Minneota, which is just 35 miles from us, they are closing in early December. They have notified all the family members and are working through that whole process. We have already received a couple of calls about residents who live there. My heart breaks for those residents, those families, the staff who work there. I understand they have about 25 residents or so. That's a lot of residents to find homes for, especially if people want to stay, in their communities. It's going to be tough. We do have empty rooms. Right now, our census is 48 and we can have 56 residents. Just because we have open rooms does not mean we are taking any and all referrals that come to us. We look at it every day. Who do we all have in the building right now? What are their needs? What is our staffing looking like right now? We've probably had 3 to 5 people move in the last couple weeks. Of course, we've also had some people pass away, so it's a daily, it's something that we look at every day. I have received a referral almost every single day these last couple of weeks here. It's it's really hard to say no, but we are being selective on the residents that we take to make sure that we won't be overwhelming our staff. So it's tricky. It is tricky. We also want to be here for our own community members. If someone ends up in our own hospital for whatever reason, and they're from our community, we want to be able to have a place for them to come as well. So, we're not solely denying admissions based on, a waiting game, but we're making sure that we have the right people in here, that we can take care of them with the staff that we have. Any other questions? Okay, not hearing or seeing any. Thank you guys very much for being on the call. So the next call will be, let's see here, November 9th, Tuesday, November 9th. I believe that is, no, that's not voting day. Is it voting day?
No, I think voting is the second.
The second. Okay, there we go. The first Tuesday after the first Monday? Yes, so Tuesday, November 9th, we will have our next Zoom call. Unless, of course, we have updated information, then we will send out some notification. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining today.